Bali, Australian accountant Isaac Emmanuel Roberts, detained in Bali on drug allegations, is feeling guilty and sorry to the Indonesian government according to one of his lawyers. Helped into a car with a maroon shawl over her head, Australian accountant Isaac Emmanuel Roberts' mum visited him amid his Bali incarceration on drug charges. HMAS AE1 vanished off the Papua New Guinea coast on September 14, 1914, leaving the fate of her 35 Australian and British crew members a mystery till now. The father of an Australian woman shot dead by a police officer in the US has questioned the integrity and completeness of the probe into his daughter's death. An Australian man has been stabbed to death in Gothenburg, in Sweden. Senator Mark Warner warned US President Donald Trump against firing Special Counsel Robert Mueller or pardoning targets of the federal probe into Russia and the president's Republican campaign. Donald Trump's inauguration, the legalization of same-sex marriage and everything in between, we take a look back at the year that was. Customers can now get their selfie on their cappuccino, with the Tea Terrace in Oxford Street, the first to introduce the frothy portrait. Helped into a car with a maroon shawl over her head, Australian accountant Isaac Emmanuel Roberts' mum visited him amid his Bali incarceration on drug charges. Roberts, 35, received several visits at the police station where he is being detained on Wednesday, including one from his mother, who was helped into a car with a maroon shawl over her head in an attempt to avoid the media pack. He is feeling guilty, he is feeling sorry to the Indonesian government, lawyer Yoga Kahiada said. Careful, she's elderly, he remonstrated to the shoving media pack as he guided Roberts' mother into the car. Roberts was arrested on December 4 after he was allegedly caught with 19.97 grams of crystal meth, which Indonesians call shabu, and 14 ecstasy tablets at Bali International Airport. Under Article 113 of Indonesia's strict drug laws, the maximum punishment for importing more than 5 grams of illegal narcotics into the country is the death penalty. However, the punishment is considerably lighter if the person only intended the drugs for personal use. Get the latest news and updates emailed straight to your inbox. By submitting your email, you are agreeing to Fairfax Media's terms and conditions and privacy policy. Robert's legal team has already emphasized that he is a drug user who has a history of depression, past trauma and suicidal tendencies. Asked about the legal strategy for Roberts given he had said the drugs were for personal use but he was being detained under an importation article, another of his lawyers, Edward Pagkahila, said, "We can't talk about it now. It's too early." Kahiada said Roberts, who was hospitalized for a couple of days after his arrest to allow him to detox, was feeling better. He is cooperative with the process and nothing is problem. Roberts is an award-winning accountant who stood for former Treasurer Peter Costello's blue ribbon seat of Higgins, in Melbourne, in the 2009 by-election. His candidate profile said he worked as a chartered accountant with a large Melbourne accounting firm and regularly provided advice on tax policy and legislation to large private companies.